All right. Good evening, everybody. I have sort of melancholy news. That is why we're in all black. Morning. So um, I knew this day would come. I knew this day would come. I've literally been waiting for it for over a year. No, 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 not not the squeeze, not the squeeze. Um, a lot of you know the theme song that we use. It's a song by the artist Afro Man, and I've been using it for over a year uh, with impunity. That day has finally come where the YouTube algorithm picks up on the song. So, sadly, unless I want to keep getting continual copyright strikes, unfortunately, barring the special occasion, unfortunately, Afro Man is out. So it sucks, but I used it for a long time without any repercussions, and the copyright system in the United States being what it is, there's not much I can do to get around it. Like I said, unless I want to keep getting copyright strikes and then run the risk of having this channel terminated. So, yeah, I know. What the hell, dude? Model 3, dude. And why is it only showing Model 3? When it's only showing Scott. That's weird. Well, anyway. Yeah, it sucks, but what can I do? So, what I can do is offer an alternative. It's a cheap substitute, but hopefully we won't get drawn and quartered for copywriting this one, or for violating copyright on this one. So this is Phil for Real.
Welcome to Trade Trace, where we talk fast.
With the instant classic.
By saying I'm not a financial advisor, take what I say with a grain
Club
of salt.
Ape.
But take this.
Light taps and dildo straps. Light taps and dildo.
We're trying different stuff out. Okay, let me just be clear. We're trying different stuff out.
Light taps and dildo straps. Light taps and dildo straps.
I'm making millions from a song that nobody cares about, and it's not even Afro Man. It's not Afro Man. It's the YouTube algorithm that catches these things, and they didn't catch it.
Dwayne Johnson, come here, you
silly chicken. Dwayne Johnson.
Come here, you silly chicken. Dwayne Johnson, come here, you silly chicken. Dwayne Johnson, come here, you silly chicken. Chicken. I want to talk about
supply and demand.
I want to talk about
Supply and demand.
I want to talk about
Supply and demand. Supply.
There are a couple other contenders too. Excuse me.
Supply and demand.
I want to talk about
Supply and demand.
I want to talk about
He has bars.
Supply and demand.
Come here, you silly
And
chicken. Dwayne Johnson, come here, you silly 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 chicken.
yeah, you know how I found that Afro Man song? I just searched for full of shit. Like, 'cause I knew that's what I wanted. Something that was basically, you're full of shit. So the other alternative is I could record a cover version of, wow, this section is so bad. It's terrible.
Sir, this a Wendy's. Got my first kiss.
So, yeah. Timing is so bad in that section right there. Holy crap. But I think maybe what I'll do is just record a cover. I wanted to do this last year anyway. I'll play the song on the piano and just record a cover version of Full of Shit by Afro Man. Why not? I doubt that their algorithm would pick that shit up because it would be terrible. So anyway, and also my voice is a little bit hoarse today, but we'll do what we can. If it's too bad, I can go to text to speech and be like, stimulate and trade. So Gasparino's having too much fun with these apes. He's having way too much fun here. The MOAS for a combined value of 8. Some dad humor right there. That is some dad humor. So we have a couple other funny tweets. We'll get these out of the way first. So funny tweets first. Good evening, everybody, by the way. How's everybody doing? Manny, Chris, Bad Back with the Hedgy Lives Matter. Yes, the HLM movement. And, of course, Model 3 dude. What's going on, guys? So, funny tweets or interesting tweets. So, we have Froggy Styles. This is from yesterday. With the Apollo FUD. So, AMC earnings on November 7th. Apollo, APO, one of their major debt holders that is bleeding very bad, is on November 2nd. Well played, Adam. Well played what? We might not have to repay that debt. That could cause a major run-up. Since he worked there, I am sure he already knows everything. Please share. So this is ape logic. This is ape knowledge right here. So a creditor may be going bankrupt. Now, this is interesting because, you know, who knows? I mean, is AMC paying back their debt? Who the hell knows? But well played that one of their major debt holders is bleeding. They might not have to repay the debt. Wouldn't that be nice? So you owe money to someone, some firm, and a bunch of people don't pay them. Firm goes under. Pop quiz. Do you still owe the money? And the answer, of course, is yes. Absolutely, you do. So whoever holds the legal claim to that debt, they're owed that debt. Just because they went bankrupt because you didn't pay them doesn't mean you don't have to pay them. So, like, these are adults saying this stuff. But there is a younger person here, Chris 801 AMC. I guess he's younger. I don't know. Looked younger, zoomed out. Why would the debt not need to be repaid? It would just transfer to another servicer, most likely. And anybody who has student loans might be familiar with that. Yeah. His credit report must be outstanding. Yeah. Credit report? What's that? And he says, you might be right. You might be right. Love it. So, what is the deal with these froggy guys? There's two froggy guys. They're seemingly equally as clueless. I don't know. But just to be clear, if a creditor goes under, you don't still have to pay them necessarily, but you do still have to pay back the debt, the money that you borrowed, or fulfill your obligations, we could say. So that's just like, you know, how much to license Afroman song? 99 cents. I don't know. Here's a third option. I could try to contact Afroman and see if I could get a dispensation to use the song on this channel. Now, you know, there's no guarantees there. Probably, if I had to guess, I'd say that I probably would not get a reply. Could contact the, to be honest, I haven't looked into it to see who actually holds the copyright. I mean, we could do that right now. See if we can find anything. wonder if All Music has it. It's on the album Happily Divorced, I think. Or I think it's on Happily Divorced. Well, anyway, I'll look into that later. So that's an option. He's going to want some money. Well, I'll tell you what, I can promise him that I'll pay him after the AMC MOAS. How about that? After the MOAS happens. So, anyway, maybe you know, we could take up a collection. I don't know. Or the small amount of ad revenue that this channel does generate. Anyway, it probably won't happen. Here's another one. Okay, this isn't a tweet, but here's Casey Shaw and his daily live streaming. Yeah, worth a shot. It would be interesting to do that and then show what the response was and all that stuff. So we'll probably do it. I mean, it probably won't happen. It probably won't. I probably won't get permission. But anyway, you never know. Sometimes people do. Here's Casey Shaw with his live streaming, right? Or maybe this is just a clip or something. I don't know. It's an hour long, but with high volatility will come major price swings. I just thought that was funny. Like, so Casey Shaw apparently read the definition of volatility. Like, what the hell? And, not necessarily either. Not necessarily. And we know that volatility is not indicative of direction. So you could have could have major price swings in either direction, or in one direction and then the other direction. So, I mean, option traders like volatility. Volatility is good, depending on what strategy you're using, right? So we don't have a problem with volatility, but it's just funny. It's just funny. And he's using the Ichimoku cloud, which, again, I have no problem with that indicator. And I've looked at it on here before, but, I wonder what the Ichimoku cloud shows for AMC. I wonder. And we'll go to a daily time frame. I don't have it in my. Oh, I do. Excuse me. Okay. So this is not good, according to Ichimoku. Ichimoku say, not good. Yeah, I'll play that video. I did see that video, and I'll go find it and play it too. And that was today, right? Yeah, it was today. Let's see. There's level up. Where is it? I want to say it was like this morning, right? Party is over. Oh yeah, it's down here, I think. Well, it's on your channel, right? So I'll just find it there. Okay, so we'll get into some videos here in a moment and see. But on this Ichimoku cloud, the way I learned it, and it's a weird indicator. You got all these lines, and if you notice, some of these lines are, it's basically the stock price, but it is shifted back. So this green line, for example, is offset. It's offset. But anyway, the shaded portion here, which is green here or red here, is the cloud. That is the actual cloud. And then you have these other blue and red lines, which are basically moving averages that are certain settings, which I don't know off the top of my head. But basically, the blue line crossing over the red line is a bullish signal. Being above the cloud is a bullish signal. And when you have both conditions, that is more bullish. So if you're above the cloud and the blue crosses over the red, it's basically a buy signal. And then so the opposite is true. When the blue line crosses over the red to the downside, you have a bearish signal. If the stock price is below the cloud, you have a bearish signal. When you have both, which is the case now, you have an ultra bearish signal or a sell signal. So that's the way I learned it. You know, anybody who uses this, feel free to add in anything, but that's basically how it's used. It can be used on different time frames as well, but you know, I don't know. So let's see. We have some interesting. Okay, here's the worst case scenario for AMC. Okay, there it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So while we're on Casey Shaw, so Casey Shaw learned about volatility. Let's check out this clip. It was clipped by Mr. Badback 007. Yeah, I mean, I as you can see, it was on. I had it on. I wasn't looking at it, but I had it in this little collection of indicators here.
Arthur's shouting at us here.
It's
He
kind
says,
of a cool indicator.
Shaw, I have heard a lot about this Rico ape run, and folks talking about selling ape. Can you tell us if this is good, bad, good or bad, and why, please? So I think personally that it would be bad to sell ape.
So this is from the clip. This clip is from the video. This one. So that's cool. So asking about selling ape. Should you sell ape?
Obviously, I can't control what it is you guys are doing. That's never my intentions. You always have to do what's best for you, not financial advice. However, let me present to you a scenario where that would be incredibly bad for us.
Hi, Lynn.
Since we have the ability to vote for ape shares to be turned into or converted back into common stock for AMC, you could potentially have, and it has to be all billion shares, right? The only way that vote will ever come through is if all billion shares are available. Adam Merrill only has 425 million shares up for sale, which means he's got an additional 40, 50 million shares somewhere around there sitting in his reserves. But if there was a vote to, or let's say he sells the 425 million he's got registered right now. He sells the 425 million to our 516 million shares that are out there. If people started to sell, as that happened, institutions could potentially own at least 1/3 to maybe almost half of all the total votes that are out there. And the reason I say that is because as of right now, they're reporting that they own 30% of all the outstanding shares in AMC.
Okay.
In AMC alone. So if they're going to buy the other 425 for APE, and people start selling, you add up all those shares together, and now all of a sudden you got a situation where institutions could potentially vote to have those shares transferred over, and you would see 1 billion shares move over from APE over to AMC, and that's where AMC is where all the short interest is at. They could use those shares. They could now use those shares to close out their short interest, and it's basically over. So it depends on what you want to see, right? If you want to see large prices going forward, then what you'd be looking at is
So it's not just we want them to cover or close out their positions or whatever. It's we want them to do it our way. We want them to do it this way, not that way. So if all the apes sell their ape, oops, then they might get to do it that way, which would be bad. Okay, all right, I'll keep listening.
Potentially
Go back
having,
just a little bit.
right? And it's basically over. So it depends on what you want to see, right? If you want to see large prices going forward, then what you'd be looking at is you'd be looking at potentially having
That's what I want to see.
that go away as a possibility. Once the short positions have closed out their positions, there's no more squeeze potential. It's gone. There is no reason for them to try and hold the price back any further. Price will probably naturally move up to whatever price would be a normalized price, or especially if Adam Aaron uses the 425 million shares to reduce his debt to zero, then basically you just you see AMC turn into a 1.516 billion outstanding share company that goes up to maybe somewhere between $30 and $40 a share, and that's it. Story over. End game. So think about that. That's a very strong possibility. AMC and APE shares are no different. They are both a direct reflection of the valuation of the company. So you need to realize that there is no difference. How does AMC get its value, or how does APE get its value? It gets it from the valuation of the company. Where does AMC get its value from?
80s
the
cruise.
Valuation of the company. There is no difference between those two tickers. Zero. None.
Yeah. Okay. So what would that? We'll see. What that would that come out to be? 60. About 60 billion. 60 billion. If my math is right. 80s cruise. 80s cruise. That sounds like fun. So $30 to $40 per share with 1.5 billion shares. Right, and that's assuming. And I think he said that the shorts would close their positions, right? So there'd be zero short interest, which I don't understand. Why, even if this company paid off a substantial amount of its debt, which again, I don't even like, that seems like unlikely, but that doesn't erase a short thesis. Like, a company could be not in debt, but still not with much of a future. So I don't know. Let's see here. Market capitalization currently is 3.189 billion, and Casey Shaw is looking for 60 billion. 60 billion. 20 times more. 20 times more. Like, shorts haven't been closing their positions this whole time and profit taking. How can they not understand this? Don't know. Which brings me to something else they don't understand, which is failure to deliver. The new data is out. Isn't everybody excited? So, this is AMC. Of course, it looks like a lot when you scale it that way. But you can look at the chart here and see a few days with substantial, I don't even know if it's substantial, but nothing here, nothing here, nothing to see there. APE is even more uneventful. So I mean, but 43 million, $300 million. Okay. We've been over this. That's his worst case scenario. Yeah, I mean, I can think of a couple more worst case scenarios than that. Did it really say that? Worst case scenario for AMC?
Why, please? So I think personally that it would be bad to sell APE. Obviously, I can't control what it is you guys are doing.
It would be bad to sell, your $2 stock. Be bad to sell it. Okay. We're going to parse all of
That's
this
never my
here.
intentions. You always have to do what's best for you, not financial advice.
But see, the problem is you're kind of giving financial advice. You're presenting with a lot of confidence, making assertions. And you're saying it would be a bad idea to do this, and you sound like you know what you're talking about. So, I'm not buying it. Hey, Manny, how's it going?
However, let me present to you a scenario where that
By the way, did you watch the Fundamental Rethink, the passive investing Ponzi scheme? Hear me out. I watched it last night. I thought it was pretty good. And I agree, but it's a bit. These guys run a brokerage firm, and they make money when people trade. So you got to keep that in mind. But anyway, I just saw it there, and but I like those guys. So really like Vic. I didn't used to like Victor Jones. I really like Victor Jones. Anyway, it's probably because we're the same age, and we kind of get the same
would
things. But
be
anyway,
incredibly bad for us. Since
not
he
financial
was
advice,
not
but it would
financial
be
advice. However, let me present to you a scenario where that would be incredibly bad for us.
incredibly bad for us.
Since we have the ability to vote for APE shares to be turned into or converted back into common stock for AMC, you could potentially have, and it has to be all billion shares, right? The only way that vote will ever come through is if all billion shares are available. Adam Merrill only has 425 million shares up for sale, which means he's got an additional 40, 50 million shares somewhere around there sitting in his reserves. But if there was a vote to, or let's say he sells the 425 million he's got registered right now. He sells the 425 million to our 516 million shares that are out there. If people started to sell, as that happened, institutions could potentially own at least 1/3 to maybe almost half of all the total votes that are out there. And the reason I say that is because as of right now, they're reporting that they own 30% of all the outstanding shares in AMC alone. So if they're going to buy the other 425 for APE, and people start selling, you add up all those shares together, and now all of a sudden you got a situation where institutions could potentially vote to have those shares transferred over, and you would see a billion shares.
So also I caught here. So the assumption is that retail investors would not vote for the conversion. They would not vote for the conversion because he's framing institutions voting for the conversion as part of this worst case scenario situation. So I guess the thinking is that retail investors would still be staunchly opposed to converting the AMC APE shares into AMC shares, I'm guessing. I mean, I'm making that assumption. That's what it sounds like. Crap. I want to log in. I have to log in now to see the ownership data. What the fuck, Fidelity?
Move over from APE over into AMC, and that's where AMC is where all the short interest is at. They could use those shares. They could now use those shares to close out their short interest, and it's basically over. So it depends on what you want to see, right? If you want to see,
So that would just be more short covering like we've seen. It wouldn't be a massive price increase or volatility, if you will. So no major price swings. I mean, but that's not true. There would be price swings. And that would be it. The shorts would use those because the assumption, another assumption being made here, and this is a common assumption that gets made, is that the reason that the short interest is still there is because they can't close their positions. They can't close their positions because the shares are apparently not available or something. I haven't seen any evidence of that because we see shares returned all the time, every day, millions of shares usually. But so, and then I guess also wrapped up in this is the assumption that if this were to happen, well, this is a major assumption too. They sell all the shares into the market or however they get out there, and then AMC pays off all its debt. They become debt free because that's part of it too. Because if in their mind, if the company doesn't have zero debt, then the short thesis is not dead. Or the possibility that they could be debt free is enough. I don't know because it's a little bit unclear. But anyway, the problem is that these people are the most unqualified to say anything about a short thesis. That needs to be said. A bunch of perma bulls on a stock who are not looking at fundamentals, or I guess maybe they do look at fundamentals now, but they're hoping for a squeeze play. Not really the most credible crowd when it comes to identifying a short thesis or commenting on it, because of course they don't think there's one. Of course they don't. So he's telling people not to vote for the conversion. I've heard him several times say that because the dilution from APE to AMC would kill the squeeze. Last I looked, APE was $1.62. So it's been a minute since you've looked at it, Lynn, because it hasn't been $1.62 since last Wednesday or Thursday. It's okay. I mean, honestly, I wish that I could say that. The problem is there's people like Rico who want the conversion because they believe that the conversion will add volume that will give them volatility spikes for their options. Ooh, really? Really? Okay. Interesting. Okay.
large prices going forward,
Let me go back a little
and
bit.
it's basically over. So it depends on what you want to see, right? If you want to see large prices going forward, then what you'd be looking at is you'd be looking at potentially having that go away as a possibility. Once the short positions have closed out their positions, there's no more squeeze potential.
There's no more squeeze potential. Is there squeeze potential now? What is the basis of squeeze potential now? I'm not really sure. 19% short interest, is that what it is? It's been a minute since I've looked, but let's look. I mean that's not squeeze potential. Let's see, where is this ortex shill? Here he is. But there's a short score of 81.83 according to Ortex. Yeah, 19.19%. Indicating Monday return shares about 3.5 million, because this would reflect Monday. Today's data. Cost to borrow is negligible, 20% per year. Even if you get 22% per year, let's max 26% per year per share, with a what, $6 stock. So I'm not even going to do the math. It's under 1 cent. Under 1 cent per share. There's absolutely no demand for AMC stock. The only demand there is, and it's very little, is by the apes themselves. Oops. They are the only ones that want it, and there isn't that many of them. And yeah, and I had the this. So what was the volume today? 13 million. Wow. 13 million. That's got to be one of the lowest days. I mean, it's got to be. I think it might be the lowest volume, going back to like before all this got underway. Now, I guess that's as far back as we can go, last May on here, but of course here, oops, I'm pretty sure, I don't think I've seen it that low. I mean, I'm not going to be able to tell on here, but like back here somewhere. 20, I mean, even that. So there's 11 million. There's 11 million right there on December 20th, 2020. I thought Casey said they cover if it got under $12 and it would be over. It would be over. Par value. Yeah. He's trying to break it down to his community. He knows it's over. You think he knows it's over? I mean, I'm asking. I don't know. I don't listen to him. Or are you? Yeah, I mean, and that's that's an interesting thing. It's like if you know it's over, and you're still putting out this crap, that's pretty despicable. It's pretty bad. They all know it's over. The influencers or the apes themselves. We're talking about the influencers, right? The influencers. I mean, what about Frankie? I don't know. Knowing and accepting are two different things. Okay, that's true. That's true. Okay, let's
gone.
finish this.
There is no reason for them to, try and hold the price back any further. Price will probably naturally move up to whatever price would be a normalized price, or, especially if Adam Aaron uses the 400.
There would be no reason for them to hold the price back. Hold the price back. I mean, listen to that. Hold the price back. So they're holding the price back. Well, that's obviously that's why there's so much, which is not even really that much. There's definitely stocks with higher short interest if you're into that sort of thing. So yeah.
Whatever price would be a normalized price, or, there is no reason for them to, try and hold the price back any further. Price will probably naturally move up to whatever price would be a normalized price, or, especially if Adam Aaron uses the 425 million shares to reduce his debt to zero, then basically you see AMC turn into a 1.516 billion outstanding share company that goes up to maybe somewhere between $30 and $40 a share.
I mean, the thing is though, like, okay, let's just call it 5 billion in debt, right? APE would have to be $11.57. They'd have to sell the 400 and whatever million for around $11 in order to generate $5 billion. So, unless, like they said, that APE, they're going to sell whoever is, was it Bank of America, Citibank, whatever, whoever. I don't know, don't care. Whichever one is issuing it as the underwriter, whatever, they're going to sell it for higher than the market price because this is a stock clearly that can be sold for higher than the market price. They're going to have to bump it up to $11. Let's see here. They don't know the difference between a gamma squeeze and a short squeeze. I've been trying to tell them that options play a big part, and he continuously tells me that I'm wrong. Yeah, I mean, options did play a big part. I'm not so sure that they do now. I don't have. Just realized I don't have. Oh, I wonder if I have Thinkorswim on here. I do. Okay. I wonder if it'll kill this computer. Whoa. I wonder if it'll make my computer unusable. Well, let's find out. So we can look at the options and stuff like that. But yeah, certainly last year it did. And you get some isolated pockets here and there, but I don't at this point. He thinks that there are hedge funds that collude to keep the price suppressed artificially. Now, I'm sure he has evidence for that. APE is going to be $1 by the time the shares hit the market. That's being generous. Anyway, so APE, not available short score. Live short interest, 6.74%. So they've already squeezed all the life out of that one, huh? Does anyone believe there are only 27 million shorted APE shares? These are reported short shares, so bullshit. Well, I mean, they're reported by the exchange. 2, APE started with hundreds of millions or billions of shorts created from shorted AMC shares. What? What? And more than 221 million APE shares have been sold short since 8/22. Tick tock. Okay. What the fuck? So what'd you think, Chris? You watched the Tom Sosnoff passive Ponzi scheme clip. He has some pretty scathing words for buy and hold. I feel like he was talking about the apes a little bit, but and I've talked about opportunity cost here a lot, but I'm curious as to what you think. Casey acts like and says he has experience in the market and has been trading since the early 2000s. Well, I can tell you he is not as intelligent and educated in trading and market dynamics as he says. What I mean, asking 3 years ago where do losses come from, where do the losses go, isn't that doesn't speak expert to you. Talking about last year, and he tells me that what was happening is because people were just buying and holding stock, and I need to look at Roaring Kitty's videos. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, so that's a man who does not understand options, probably. I mean, do you get that sense that he doesn't understand options? So he disregards them. He disregards options impact on the market, which is pretty silly, pretty dumb. Like, shares on loan. So this APE here says obviously you can't have 7% of the float shorted if only 5% of the float is on loan. So you see this 5%, 5.17% here. And where's the other one? God damn it. On the APE, 6.74% live short interest. I mean, the difference is this is estimated data here. This one is based on exchange reported data. That's from, whenever, updated Wednesday. Updated Wednesday. Okay, I don't know. He doesn't understand market mechanics at all. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Man, I can't imagine just being a stock trader. Like, I need my options. I need my options. It would. I feel like it would. I mean, this is just me here, but I think that it would take. It would be. I don't know. Just take a lot more money to make money, just trading stock. No, he doesn't. It's dangerous. He's dangerous because people in the stream listen to him, right? And that that's true. Chris says, I've always, for the most part, self-directed my investments because I could. I was screaming the very same Sosnoff take decades ago. Nothing new here from my perspective. So, yeah, absolutely. And even, self-directed, I mean, Chris, you how long have you been an active trader, would you say? Right? So you're an active trader of stocks, and I don't know about options, but or I don't think you trade options, right? So I'm curious, have you always actively traded, and how long have you played both sides of the market, if you don't mind? I'm just curious. Let's see here. He's good at every hour reading the data from where he gets it, but it's weird how he takes scheduled breaks all the time, like if he's working. Interesting. He actively told people last year not to sell AMC and try to buy in at lower price because they would miss out. Okay, he actively told people last year not to sell AMC and try to buy in at a lower price because they would miss out on the MOAS and they wouldn't be able to buy back in. He's cost a bunch of people money. So yeah, I mean, he wouldn't be able to buy back in. I always say that reminds me of when people are, when these guys say or would say, oh, I want to I want to transfer my account to Fidelity, but I'm worried about missing the squeeze. This was like last, June or something. So it's, or I want to transfer to computer share, but I might miss the squeeze. I mean, when has anybody not been able to buy? When has anybody not been able to buy? I mean, I remember seeing some posts on Reddit, but those were posts on Reddit, so who knows? Okay, I'm going to see here if I can bring in my Thinkorswim window. Let's see if it works. Why is it not working? Okay, properties, da-da-da-da. There we go. So we can look at the option chain, because I honestly haven't not looked at the option chain, with the exception of just looking at those shitty calls that Trey bought, which I wonder if he still has. I can't imagine he would, or if he does. I mean, they're basically worthless. I don't actually know what they went to today, but yesterday they were $3. Let's see, do I have this right? There we go. Okay, here we go. So, Thinkorswim. Antoinette is here. She's off work. She's out. What's up? Lou is saying the same thing about GTII. Oh, you won't be able to buy in. I think we should short AMC again. Really? You think? I mean, you don't think that we've hurt these poor apes enough? Okay. We want all the strikes, baby. Okay, $11. Oh, they're worthless. Shit. No. don't create an order. Not for those. So they are officially worthless. Officially worthless. Good job, Trey. The $11 calls. The bid price is 0. 0 bid. Meaning you couldn't sell them. You couldn't sell them. I mean, with a price of $6.11, I mean, an $11 call. Now, I just have not used this on this machine a lot or at all, so I don't even have a lot of the columns on here that I would normally have. Let's see what else we need. Delta, at least. IV. That might be okay for now. There we go. That's better. So I mean, this is not really enough volume to really make much of a difference anyway. Now we have this one here. We could potentially have this one. I don't know. This is the other one, the pre-existing one. Either way, I mean, this has a bid price of 0 as well. Literally has a 0 bid. So this $11 call. People must have been buying them only. So, okay, I got this here too. So let me bring this back over into the browser window and switch back over there real quick. So let's see, where is it? Where'd it go? Here's Fidelity's ownership data for AMC. So 33.5 institutional, 21.9 institutional mutual fund. Mutual Mund? That's a typo. That is definitely a typo. Mutual Mund. Does not sound pleasant. And then mutual fund 2.1, insiders 6.2, and other down to 36.3. Wow, 36.3. Damn, that is low. I thought apes owned 90+% of the float and that nobody was selling. This data would seem to indicate otherwise. Yeah, Trey fucked up. You know what? I think Trey quit YouTube. I'm just spouting off. Trey quit YouTube because he didn't want to face his audience and knowing that those options were worthless. It's because he fucked up the options. And he's supposedly an options genius. He's got a master class. Chris says, no options, been investing since the mid-'80s, started swing trading in currencies when TDA bought Thinkorswim and day trading scalping last 4 years. Cool. So you trade foreign exchange? I was just saying today that I can't stand Forex. It's my least favorite, even less than crypto. But probably just because like everything, I just don't understand it. Yeah, Forex. Maybe you'll have to teach me Forex sometime. Believe there's something else going on with the whole group of them, and it's just crazy how they don't tell the truth. Agreed. Trey, come back. I have more calls to sell you. Yeah. So, okay. let's go back over here real quick and just look at the option statistics for today. 123,000 contracts traded. Like basically almost practically 2-to-1 calls to puts. Interesting though, when we look at the delta between, so let's see. Let's do like we'll do this. Just gonna shift these numbers a little bit. Okay. So the delta is telling us how much the option price moves relative to the stock. So if we have a delta of 1, we get a $1 move in the price, the premium of the option, when the underlying stock itself moves $1. 100, it's going to be, $100. $1 move in the stock will give you a $100 move in the option premium. So leverage, how much leverage? Between 0 and 100. The higher the delta, the more expensive the option is to buy. Generally, I mean, it's just the way it is. So it makes sense, right? So higher the delta, the more leverage, the quote unquote easier it is to start accumulating some profit, hopefully. And this is for call options. It's a positive number. So you make money when the stock goes up. For puts, it's a negative number. So as the stock price goes down, right, the option premium goes up. Or if the stock price goes up, the option premium goes down. So it's like shorting a stock. So I just think it's interesting here. If you have a low level of conviction or less money to trade with, because the lower the delta, the lower the leverage, the lower the price of the option. So, and also the lower the probability that you will make money. So delta can also tell you how likely you are to make a profit, essentially. I'm simplifying it a little bit, but I'm just talking here. Or the higher the delta, the greater the chance of profit at expiration. So when we look at the call side, we see 81,000 calls traded, right? But when we look at the delta between 0 and 16, so this is what I changed it to, was spaced out differently. 49% of those calls were these low probability, low cost, low probability contracts, as opposed to the puts. Only 27% of them were those low quality, low probability, low cost option contracts. Interesting. So when we go to 71 to 100, which is the highest probability, highest premium, you're paying the most, but you also have the most opportunity to profit. 4% as opposed to 12% on the puts. So what does this tell you? What does this tell us? Well, it's always, generalizing or whatever, but I mean, you could say that, seems like the apes are buying calls, right? They have less money. They're less experienced, yada, yada, yada. I just thought it was interesting. Okay. For KC, it's about the attention and admiration he gets from his community. He's constantly trying to get celebrities or TV personalities to tweet him back. I think he's popular for the first time. Okay, yes. And Manny's demand is adding here, and gamma determines the sensitivity of the value for your delta. Another way of putting it is gamma is telling us how much does the delta change. So options pricing. The pricing of options is modeled by a calculus formula known as the Black-Scholes formula. So these are basically variables in a multivariable calculus equation or expression. So delta is the rate of change of the price. If anybody remembers calculus, the rate of change or the derivative of with respect to price. And gamma is it's the second derivative, or it is the change. It is the rate of change of delta with respect to price. So if we go back to the option chain here, and I'll put in delta. I'm sorry, gamma, right here. Gamma. So what this shows is, let me put a simulated. Let me get well, I won't worry about that, but you see this gamma number here. So this is what gives the option returns their convexity. So as the price goes up, so does the delta, or for puts, as the price goes down. So it's not linear. It's not linear. This is telling us that as the price increases for a call option, you're going to get an increase in delta. So it's just good all around. All that comes up in my feed now is Chris Norland, Scott Allen, cops chasing stolen cars through Los Angeles, and reasons not to use fentanyl. Okay. 13 million volume. That's crazy. Okay. Let's go further out. Let's go to January. Yeah, this is like anemic volume. What about January 24? Okay. Oops. January 25? They have January 2025 options. Wow. And look, you can get a $20 call, or I'm sorry, you can get a at the money call, basically, for about $300, $3 per share for 100 shares. That's a hell of a deal, I tell you. But the puts, though, where's my IV? I thought I had IV on. Maybe I got too many things. No? I guess I just took it off. Okay. Another thing that's cool about yeah, I don't like how it does this. Another thing that's cool about Thinkorswim is it has the expected move on here. So like we could look, for example, we could look at this option chain here that expires Friday. By the way, this is a monthly expiration, so theoretically higher volume. So for example, over here on the right, and I used to know the formula they used to come up with this, but I think it's an average. It's an average of implied volatility that they come up with, and then they calculate it out. So they're saying you can expect a 57.5 cent move in the stock price in AMC, plus or minus 57 cents by Friday. by Friday. Or by next Friday, $1.19. Or the following Friday, $1.64, and so on. So you see that as we go up, like for example, I don't know what's up with this one here. It's 1,111.57%, or plus or minus $40 million. Not sure. There's some IV weirdness going on here, apparently. I not sure. I wouldn't go buying those necessarily, but so you could see that the options market is pricing a $200. These are these APE 100 options. These are these non-standard deals. So who knows? But don't take that as the gospel. This $200 expected move by January 2024. Of course, that's a little bit off. So, I mean, a ways off in time. Okay. So, I mean, I'm not going to go through all these option chains here, but I mean, 123,000 option contracts is not that many. And the largest trade today was 4,000. It looks like, let's see. These were sold, and it's hard to tell here, but these are probably bought. So you got somebody selling a call and buying puts, 4,000, and that's a spread. We can see that right there, spread. This was one trade. It was executed at the same time. You can see that. So what happens when you sell a call and you buy a put? Well, interestingly enough, the apes are going to love this one. Synthetic short. It's a synthetic short position. Yeah. Well, not really, but it is an option strategy that simulates shorting stock. I believe that's what that is. I'm pretty sure. So let's see. We can go to option strat and look at these option strategies, and we got a short synthetic future. And that makes sense, right? Sell a call, buy a put. Buying a put. Buying a put right here. Selling a call. Are they at the same strike, though? I forgot. Yeah, they are. They're both at 15. Both at 15. So that's the largest trade. It was 4,000. Let's simulate it here. So it's for November 18th. So we go to November 18th. And then we'll move on from options because I know not everybody's interested. So they sold the 15 call for 10 cents. So go to 15, change both of these to 15. Selling a call, we're selling 4,000 calls for, what was it, 10 cents. So we can change all this stuff to customize it to what our position is. And then we bought 4,015 puts for 906. $906. Right, so that is a net debit, meaning in order to get in this trade, it's going to cost you $3.5 million. You need $600,000 worth of margin. Your maximum profit is $2.4 million. And you made $24,000 today on the position. Let's look at the graph. So here's what the graph looks like. This is today. So we can see that as the stock price goes down, profit is going up, making money. Going into the future here, this curve does not really change that much at all. Changes a little bit here. but we're just seeing the entire range, I think. So yeah, it's like shorting, basically. Well, one contract is like shorting 100 shares of stock, so it's like shorting 400,000 shares of stock, basically. As far as I can tell. So anyway, yeah, and it is, the difference is it's not a synthetic. It's an option strategy that simulates a short position, but it's entirely based on options. So you're buying puts, you're selling calls, you're doing it at the same time. It shows up as one position in your account. However, when you combine these strategies, these two options, this is what the profit and loss profile looks like. So it is like shorting stock. There is no short selling involved directly on the part of the trader. How the market maker hedges that is immaterial to this discussion, because I don't know and I don't care, to be honest. I'm just betting that the stock will go down, and I've set up a trade that will profit if that happens. By the way, I was the person who made this trade for $3.5 million. Just kidding. I wish. Would I have done this particular trade? I don't know. Probably not. It's a month away. It's a lot of money, and it's kind of a limited profit. So I don't know who did that or why, but anyway. January 2024 is the options a lot of YouTubers are telling people to get. Really? Huh, interesting. No, go with that. Synthetics, it's perfect. So keep saying simulated synthetics, head will explode. Iron condor plays. Rubber chicken plays. The back alley reach around option strategy. I don't know what you guys are on there, but I like it. Yeah, iron condor. Of course. Honestly, I tend to like the call or put condors a little bit better, just because it's easier for me to remember what to do. So I'm basically just doing well, it can't even do it. It can't even do this because it can't even do it. I guess I have to set it up right. So we'll talk more about some option strategies sometime, but there's a lot more to options than just buying calls and puts. And you can limit your you can limit your risk, basically, and get into a trade for a lot cheaper. You can limit your profit potential too. Sometimes Lynn never has the funds to do the fun stuff. Yeah, that's why they call it funds. You need it to do the fun stuff. Antoinette, if apes were smart, they would sell off and let AMC drop and buy it back and make money off the price rising back up. Assuming it rises back up. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Okay, let's see what we got here. So, Casey Shaw, that's enough of that. Here's CSI, Common Sense Investor, with some common sense.
What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. In this video, I'm finally glad that I connected the dots that I could come out today.
Oh,
but
yikes.
I've been wanting to say it for weeks.
I'm gay. No.
They are halting these stocks, people. Now, you know what a halt is, and I know what a halt is. That's like, for example, when a stock moves up so fast, so quick, they'll put a 5-minute halt or 10 minutes.
Well, we know that that's not why it's halting then, so do tell.
On the stock trading, give people a cool-off period. But I'm watching this price action for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and I'm going, they're halting their stock.
What?
They're not letting it be traded, but I couldn't prove
What are you talking about?
And I said, okay, just be cool.
There's an easy way to prove that.
One dot will connect to another dot eventually. Now,
right?
Finally today it did.
Buy some of it and watch a time and sales window. See if you see your transaction post. I've done it.
And I can, what I call an unofficial halt.
Oh,
They're not
dear
going to
fucking
come
God.
right out and tell us your stock's halted. Then they got to answer why. What's up with the stock? Why ain't it trading? But if they never have an official halt, could they halt it anyway? And then nobody would be the wiser, and no questions would be asked. And that's
okay. Where's the evidence?
The unofficial halt. Now, I'm over here on Highcroft, as y'all know. If you have AMC, GME, APE, and I do a Highcroft update, you should be watching because Highcroft is so tied to AMC. So pay attention. Are they halting the price action of Highcroft? Well, I would come over here, drop down to a 5-minute halt, maybe. Click that.
5-minute halt.
And let's pull our screen up.
5-minute chart.
And I want to show y'all something.
Or you can just click auto.
Look at this. Now, a candle is formed, as you know, when the price action moves up or down. And in
okay, that's correct.
The case of this particular candle, it closed up
God.
right there.
I know where he's going with this. Oh, yes, they are real. Bad back 007. They are. Popcorn and gold go together. Yeah, because of the butter, of course. The market makers and the government can suppress the markets if they feel the need to, but nobody is halting HYMC, that nobody's buying it. Yeah, I mean, nobody is buying it. Nobody's buying it. So I don't even have it on I have it on 0 watch lists here, but 1.62 million shares traded, solidly under average volume, and TradingView says sell it from a technical standpoint. Okay, so let's look at the damn chart. So what we see was on a 5-minute chart. Okay, so he sees these lines. He sees these lines. The flat candle, just line over. Well, I don't know when this video came out. I guess yesterday. Yeah. So, this day, Tuesday. So, why does it look different? Do I have it on? Do I have it right? 5 minutes. I don't know why I don't need these comparisons. Maybe he's looking at the previous day. Maybe it's this day. I think that's it. Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, that's it. And he's got it all fucked up, like stretched. But that's it. Okay. So instead of that, let me just go to 1 minute. See here. So it was, I guess, Monday. So, like, he's going to talk about these lines right here and say that this is a halt. When in reality, there were just 155 shares traded at that minute, and the price didn't move. Probably because they're in the limit order book. There were more than 155 shares available for somebody to buy at 59 cents, at 0.597. So that transaction, or those transactions totaling that number of shares, occurred, and there were still shares available at that price. So the price did not move. Simple, easy. But okay, let's hear him.
All right. Well, we see it's a full body candle here. So when it moved over to here, it went down,
but
and
see,
then
this
it
is,
came off.
they don't understand what makes a stock price move. And that this is a direct result of that misunderstanding or lack of understanding. Right?
All the way back up and close right there. That's how candles form. However, if there's no price action, then what you get are little lines like this.
Nope.
And you can see here that on the 5-minute chart, for 5, 10, 15 minutes.
Look, there's volume candles here. Like, what the fuck? There are volume candles there for these minutes. What are you talking about? Lay off the sundial.
The price of Highcroft did not move. For
Jesus
5,
fuck.
10
Put down
minutes,
the moonshine,
the price of Highcroft did not move. All right? For 20 minutes. They are halting. This is what I call an unofficial halt. They halted it there.
You're what I call an official idiot. I mean, what the fuck? No. Like, Jesus fuck. Okay. Down the bunny hole we go. Yep. CSI reminds me of Randy Quaid's character in Independence Day. CSI needs to go back to playing scratch-offs and bingo. Stock market is a bit too much for his poor little brain to handle. Piling mashed potatoes into the shape of a bucket of popcorn. Oh, that was contact. Nice. Nice. I don't even know if it's worth
there for 10 minutes.
Whatever.
It fell down a little bit. They halted it. They're keeping the price action suppressed. That is an unofficial halt. If they did it officially and just said we can't trade Highcroft, then there would be too many questions. Why is the stock being halted? But here, if they can remove the volume and keep everything the way it's going at the same price action to suppress the price.
But you didn't look at the volume.
This is one of the most well-known meme stocks on the internet, and we haven't even traded 1 million volume yet. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Like, what is this? What is this, like, not trusting the data? I don't get that. Like, there is nothing like that would suggest. I mean, there is no other data. Like, if there was a second set of books somewhere, okay, follow me. If there was a second set of books somewhere, I feel like I've heard this before. If there were a second set of books somewhere that said something different, credibly, then, you could take a look at it. But there isn't. So you are just saying, I don't trust this data. I have no reason to not to. I have no other data that may or may not be credible. I just don't believe it. That is fucking stupid. Okay, if I may, pardon my French. What the fuck? That is some, like, just total market conspiracy. It's a holistic market conspiracy approach. If you're not going to trust the data, you're not going to trust the price and the volume data. You're not even looking at the volume data. Oh, Daniel has noticed this happening more and more. They, them. Yep. Oh, yeah. Please leave a comment. Oh, dear. Well, I'll see what I'll think about it. I don't think that these YouTubers realize that if there even ever was a chance of a squeeze, they ruined it because of their videos proving how unsophisticated they are. Yeah. Definitely something to be said for everybody on one side of a trade, putting it out there to the world. You know, do you think, like, given everything that's happened, given, the whole situation, not just AMC, GameStop, whatever, that if, and I'll use it because I do, but, they, meaning Wall Street, just meaning Wall Street in general, institutions, funds, institutions, banks, whoever, not market makers, because they don't trade positions on their own. They're just hedging just to stay flat. But, market participants. Okay, we're talking about market participants, banks, funds, institutions, hedge funds, individual institutional investors. These are entities that have a lot of money to play with, a lot of capital to deploy, a lot of reasons to want to preserve their capital. If you are saying, hey, this is what we're all doing this, we're all going to do this, we all believe this, who wouldn't use that to their advantage? And that's the flaw of group investing to this degree, I think. They have shown why this kind of thing isn't really done and it doesn't work. Especially after it happened once or twice in recent years, and people got burnt, like funds, institutions. But by far, they like to talk about Melvin Capital. They like to talk about Archegos. They like to talk about these things. They meaning the apes. Okay, I'll give you the antecedent, baby. They, the apes. The apes give. They love to give those examples. Melvin Cap. I mean, we didn't hear anything except Melvin Capital for weeks, and then it came back, and then it came back again, and somehow it's still relevant. It's not, but whatever. They love to talk about that shit, but collectively, the apes. I mean, there's no way to calculate it. It's incalculable. But surely the apes have lost collectively more money between their shares that some people bought literally at $70 a piece, anywhere from $70 on down, and it's at $6 now. Not to mention all of the option premium. I mean, that's really where you start to get some serious, serious losses piling up. Right? There were people buying last year, buying $145 calls last year. When the price was $40, $50 and lower. Okay, I'm going to come over to Thinkorswim here real quick again. So I'm in the think back function here. This allows us to look back in time and see what things were, and I'm not forgetting about CSI over there. These people must not know how to learn. They just make shit up. There's no consequences for putting out blatant false and extremely ignorant conspiracy theory fairy tales. There has to be some sort of penalty for being this fucking apish. And, I mean, I guess technically there is. It's just, delayed, like losing all your money. I mean, I know what you mean though. You know, I think that I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. No, but there should be. There should be. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So say we want to go back to, whoa, not that far. Jesus. Let's say we want to go back to June 3rd, 2021. Okay. So now we're looking at the option chain from the perspective of June 3rd, 2021. And we can see what happened in the option chain. So, and it's again, it changed all my shit. I mean, really just need that, but interest, volume. Oh, I already have volume. Jesus. Market price, gamma, delta. Okay. So on June 3rd, last year, 2021, you had 145 calls available. This is actually, I think this might have been the first day because we get zero volume on those. So let's go forward to the 4th. So this is the day that these expire. I guess not. Because you already have 173,000. Oh no, that's volume. See, it's backwards from what I normally have it. Okay, so there's no open interest, zero open interest. So they added these on this day. There some of these, it looks like, to fill in these gaps here. So, but there's an easy way to know. We go back in time one day. So on June 2nd, we only went up to 120. June 2nd, right? And you had 5,200 volume. And then this is the first day for a lot of these strikes too. But we go forward to June 3rd. 173,000 of these 145 calls. Now, they're only 46 cents because they expired the very next day. Worthless. Now, 83,000 traded, and there were only 41,000 open. So a lot of these that were from the volume from the 3rd were just traded that day. They just traded them that day and didn't hold them, so they didn't turn into open interest. Okay, that's fun. What about for the 18th? So we're on the 4th looking at the 18th. Now, these 145s were 480 per share for 100 shares, so $480 to get into this trade. There were 32,000 of them traded that day. Let's fast forward to the 18th. Fast forwarding to the 18th for the 145 calls. Open interest on that day was 90,000. Expired worthless, obviously. So, just, going back here, I mean, it would take a lot of time to calculate this, and I don't even know if you really could, but let's just estimate this. We have 32,500 at 480. 32,500 at 480. That's $15.5 million right there. Now, not all of these volume were sell or were buys. Some of them were sells and whatever else. But if they were all buys at 480, that would be $15.5 million. That's small potatoes, but that's one strike, one expiration, one day. Okay, there's a lot of money moving around in the option chain last year. That's all I'm saying. And so those combined losses, because that all expired worthless. Those people who bought those fuckers at $400, $500, $600, they lost all of their money. All of their money. Why? Because people like Roensch Capital, Trey's Trades, Matt Kohrs, Matt Coles, whoever else, Review Dork, the Masked Idiot, all these guys. The squeeze hasn't happened yet. I swear, I really believe the squeeze is coming. Well, if you think it's going to $100,000 per share, and you have a 145 call, yeah, you're going to make a shit ton of money. Or you're going to lose all. Hey, Tanko, how's it going? Good to see you. Apes better hope and pray. Adam Aaron and City sold some apes. Too late to sell for less than $2. Okay, let's get back to CSI. Let's see if anybody called him out on this shit first. Volume trading orders are delayed, or during that time, all of their orders went to dark pools. Only thing left was a smattering of retail, and even those orders bundled into 100 or 1,000 lots. No, sorry. We need independent market makers, so there is no conflict of interest. That, like a bank robber being the judge and police chief, not really. You would already know the outcome. How is that? I don't get that's a false analogy. False analogy. Still waiting on the email to get the Golden Highcroft NFT. Less than 2 weeks left in October. Golden Highcroft NFT. Okay. They halted MMAT yesterday morning in Weeble. I rebooted many times and watched other stocks continue trading. What? I mean, maybe, I don't know. Micro halts. Yup. Today AMC at 666. The whole stock market is cricket. When they do not want you to make money, they will come up with new rules. From To the Moon. Rocket. Why don't you send this information to the CEO of Highcroft? It's all BS and criminal. I noticed this shit over a year ago when I really started to get heavy into trading. Obviously rigged. However, it's a game that we still choose to play. I mean, that is true. So if one believes it is obviously rigged, then the question is, why are you still playing a rigged game? If you know it's rigged. Is it the plunge protection team? Yes, they're preventing a plunge, or they're whatever they're doing on Wyckoff mining. Adam Aaron should have sold APE around $8. I sold a lot around that price. Just to all let you know, the gold Highcroft NFT is out and ready to collect. Hope it means something. Hope it means something. Well, that's an interesting statement. Notice my order of Highcroft would not fill when it should have. TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, HYMC, 1 minute candles, many missing today. Nice catch. Really, many missing today. I went and looked at it. There is volume at those lines, so it is trading. It opened and closed at the same price with no movement, with very low volume. Look at the 2 minute or 1 minute, and you will see even more of those lines. That's it. But the mechanics of how oh, look. Here's Manny's demand. I love seeing our subscribers out in the wild, so to speak, commenting, trying to talk sense, or at least, make some kind of intelligent statement. So, all right. Let's finish this one.
So, that's what's going on. Now, real quick, just so you think I ain't crazy, we're going to check AMC on the 5 minute chart.
Oh, boy.
See nice price action. We're going to check APE on the 5 minute chart.
Okay.
Price action. GTII on
price
action, even though it's consolidating. But when we get to Highcroft, no price actions throughout all of this stock. And me and you both, or you ought to know better than that.
Okay, so that's like, yeah, you ought to know better, or we all know that, yada, yada, yada. That's what people say when they have no evidence. Plain and simple. Okay. I would like to say, if you appreciate an evidence-based approach to looking at this stuff, I'll say stuff, hit the like button, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter at Scotty Finance, or join our Telegram chat group. Link to that's in the bottom right of the screen or in the description. So, and then we'll move on from CSI. So, appreciate that. Okay. I try to be nice to CSI and try always half-ass agree with him. I just think he has a lot to learn. I agree. So Manny got his NFTs and he doesn't even own shares anymore. I owned a share of AMC and I couldn't get my the first NFT when I couldn't get it to work. Giving up on apes, don't watch AMC videos anymore unless it's teaching me how to short it. Well, you are a bear. Adam Lewis just dropped a video. Okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. Let's see. We're going for short videos.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to Marant's Rants. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. AMC and APE. I want to talk to you guys. One, I want to show you the chart really quick. This is your chart. You guys.
He's got nice, strong audio. Holy crap. Had to turn him down. Okay.
You guys are in the middle on the far right. Came down today.
Very assertive.
Below $2. You know that AMC is below $7, below $6.50. It's tough. You're never going to get it back up. But beyond that, what I want to tell you is this. Couple things. I'm going to mix this video up with two different analogies. First is, I know you guys need someone to be mad at. I know you guys are pissed off about your losses and who you want to blame, and you need somewhere to vent. Come attack me. Come vent on me. I'm okay with it. I am. Not so much that I'm the villain or I'm the bad guy. It doesn't work out that way. You guys need to get this shit out. You guys got fucked. I get that part. It's like you guys all got invited to this orgy, and everybody's letting you know, hey, man, it's your time to come. It's your time to come. It's going to come.
Oh,
this rocket's going to explode. You're going to get it in. And then right there, you walk into the room, and it's this fat, ugly guy named Adam Aaron fucking your girl, and you can't believe it. You just can't believe it. He's plowing away, and he's just laughing.
An Office Space Lumberg moment.
Get some NFTs. I'll be done in a minute. And you're like, can I get some? And your girl's right there saying, oh, he's bigger than you. He's better than you. I'm taking off with him. I mean, that's what's happening right now. And I know it's a sick analogy, but it's true. This is the only dude laughing all the way to the bank, and you're not. So be upset with me.
Let's hear the other analogy.
All you want. YouTube, don't take that.
Can we have the other analogy, please?
But it's just words, guys. It's just words. That's all it is. And unfortunately, in your life, it's real money. That's the problem that we're having right now. And while everyone is in the room getting theirs, whether it be Trey, Matt, Lou, and Tony De Niro, AMC Bigums, all these dudes are getting
Tony Franzetti.
They're all laughing at it and still telling you to stay at the party, stay at the party. You're eventually going to get some. I'm just going to let you guys know right now. Leave her. You're upset with someone. You're upset with something. You want to blame me for telling you the truth about what's happening to your stock. Leave her. Leave her because she's the one who cheated on you. It's not the other way around. You're a good person. You're going to be okay. Life goes on. You get it.
Well, that's debatable. That's debatable. I mean, life does go on, but you're a good person. That's like, go home. Go home. You're very special. We love you.
Divorce in life, or you guys have a massive breakup, and I know you're attached to the person. You just got to find a way to walk away and keep your head held up high. That's what's happening right now in this stock, guys. You're getting fucked, and it sucks.
So you thought you were going to an orgy and you were going to be, the male party, and it turns out that you actually were getting fucked. Not doing the fucking, you were receiving the fucking.
I'm still here for you, and I'm always going to be. Come on,
but he said there. Didn't he say there were two analogies? what was the second analogy? I don't know. You
guys need to get this shit out. It's like you guys all got invited to this orgy. You guys need to get this shit out. You guys got fucked. I get that part. It's like you guys all got invited to this orgy, and everybody's...
Anyway, okay, Lou, tell us more. Look, there's another Manny. This man's analogy of the orgy and Adam Aaron. Let's see. Morant's rants and Chris Norland seem to be cut from the same cloth. Interesting. So is Patrick Weiland, but he was apparently arrested. Really, and hasn't uploaded in a while. Might want to look into that. Arrested. I mean, he was never really that relevant, but you know, I like a good dramatic scandal. That's not the right one. Criminal defense. Ross Cameron going to jail, reacting to Patrick Weiland video. I mean, Ross Cameron, was that the guy from one of the other ones? So many other analogies. Yeah. Day trading scam revealed. This is in 2020. I don't know that site, though. You haven't seen, Lynn, you haven't seen this name on any of the SEC stuffs, have you? I don't remember seeing it. Anyway, who knows? Just in the comment. I give up. It's not really worth the stress looking at it all the time. I don't know AMC. I'm all in GameStop and Bed Bath & Beyond, but AMC Bigums would run circles around you, Morantz. Oh, yeah? I mean, sorry, I'd have to put my money on Morantz. Can't see Morantz or think about him or anything without thinking about stereos. This is classic. Thanks, Morantz Rants. Your negativity and obsession give me more conviction to hold AMC and APE. Here we go. There's bad back. It's reality. It's not obsession and negativity. It's reality. Says the wall-eyed guy with GameStop bags stapled to his wall. You shouldn't care about what other people hold. I mean, probably doesn't. I mean, that's why, well, that's one of the reasons. You know, I focus on the influencers because I don't care what people do with their investment. I mean, it doesn't matter to me at all. I mean, I couldn't care less. So, well, we'll just skip that for now. So Adam Lewis just dropped a video. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's look and see. Morantz will give you a little shout out. He responded to Manny. Scott Allen was watching and said he was familiar with you and checked out your channel. Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, I think I remember him posting, Manny posting that, maybe that screenshot in Telegram chat. So yeah, that's cool. I'm not going to lie, Morantz puts down some pretty good hard factual data. Yep. He's like, his concept is like, talking to the apes directly, which, hey, I'm glad that that's right. Or that, excuse me, I'm glad that he's doing that. Somebody should. That's not me. But that's okay. I wonder if he's heir to the Morantz stereo. Yeah. I agree with his view on AMC, not in GameStop like he is, but at least he's not preaching MOAS. He's in it for long and thinks future is good. Right. And that's, I don't agree with the GameStop thing either. I think it's, we looked at, didn't we? We looked at the earnings recently. We looked at the data, and it doesn't, it's whatever. But yeah, not MOAS and, long term, whatever. I mean, I don't agree with everything. I don't agree with a lot of things. And that's just as irrelevant, to this discussion. So as far as, AMC, MOAS, influencers lying all the time. Yeah. Okay. So we were looking for Adam Lewis. I just have to look for him. Adam Lewis TV. Adam Lewis TV. AMC stock short squeeze prediction. I'm sorry. AMC stock price short squeeze prediction update. Okay.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam Lewis. You're watching Adam Lewis TV. We're going to talk a little bit about AMC real quick. We had a weird day. It's nothing much. Don't expect much right now for AMC.
A weird day.
But we're going to moon, okay? Think about it like this. Right now, the Fed, the SEC, is starting to make chatter that they're going after a lot of these, unscrupulous business dealings, if you will. And you know what that means. They talk a lot, and who knows who they're working for. They're supposed to be there for the retail investor, you and me, but as it turns out, it doesn't look like they have been. Again, they know exactly what's going on. They just let this run, for as long as it ran because they were getting away with it, the hedge funds. So now there's a lot of stink. There's a lot of people in GameStop and AMC and other meme stocks that are just making noise, right? And they're listening because it's if you think about it, it's a matter, and they say this, it's a matter of national security, really, because if our economy goes down as a result of all this effery that's going on, that's a matter of national security. So they're getting on it. They're pretty much getting on this right now. So who knows what that means? Who knows what that's going to look like?
Yeah, who knows what it means? Lynn keeps up with the SEC stuff. Have you seen anything about this? Where is it? What the hell are they going to do? What the hell is the problem? You're looking at a stock with 19% short interest. What's the deal? What is the allegation? What is the crime? I mean, I don't know. When did Larry David become an AMC? That's yeah. I mean, Larry David's not like Mr. Clean Bald, but yeah, I mean, he's a high level bullshitter. He's just rattling shit off the top of his head. Look at what's happening here. Oh my God, they're probably blah blah blah. They're no. Very high level. No detail, no sources, just bullshitting, high-level bullshitting, gossip. I mean, it's pretty much
okay.
worthless.
They've made some bad choices.
Sorry, Adam. But
that's going to have a ripple effect throughout the entire world's economies. It's going to definitely hit hard on other banking institutions over there, and it could come out over here. You could see banks like Bank of America go down and crumble. When these things start to happen, the short squeeze will occur. These things are going to happen as far as I'm concerned. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take my word for it.
There it is.
Use this for entertainment purposes only because what do I know, right? But my point is this.
What do I know? But I'm going to keep talking about it like I do.
The banks.
Love it.
I got to tell you, I'm beat. Just got out of a Krav Maga class and wow, good times. But, this thing's going to squeeze. We're going to moon.
And here's the...
and don't go for this rally stuff. I talked about it in a couple of videos now, the sucker rally. They're pumping stuff up to get as much cash out of you if you invest, and then it's going to drop down again. It's just the whole... it's all coming down again. It's going to be 2008 all over again, but on steroids. It's
Why
going to make
though?
2008 look like a party.
I mean,
So
I don't know about that. You know, I don't know about that. Um, you know, I do know that it's a different situation completely, and it's being dealt with differently, and everything's different. It's just all different. Everything's different. So, is it going to be like 2008? I mean, is it like 2008? The stock market is down. If that's enough similar, then I guess so. I'm curious though. I forget. Does anybody know how much the S&P dropped in 2008? Or, I mean, by the time that it was over. Let's see, right here. Whoops. I hate how it does that. Let me get the volume off here. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to leave the volume on. Strong magnet. Strong magnet. Okay, here's the peak. Here's the bottom. See, this is why I don't like the volume being on, but let's see. It's down here. It's like 67.10. Yeah, that'd be it. 57%. 57.4%. So from the highs in October of 2007 to the bottom, October, a whole other October, so that's a year, and basically a year and a half from the top to the bottom. Where we are right now is, I want to say about 17%. Actually, you know, we can look. Year to date, change it to percentage. Okay, no, 23%. So, easy way to do that. Year to date, click percent, get on percent, 22.63%. That's not from the highs, though. So from, although actually, yes, it is. In the SPY, in the SPY, it is. So there's that. Okay. So 23%. Now, going back to the long term. Here. And yeah, so 23%. Well, since I have it on strong magnet, it's not going to let me do it. So take the magnet off. Just wing it. Fuck it, we'll do it live. There's 23%. Welcome to 23%. So let's see. Let me get that off there. Yeah. And now, is it the same though? I don't want the same color. What do you guys say? So now we're on a monthly chart, but you know, right around here is 23%. That's where we're at now. Basically, another just as much down occurred, and it took a year and a half. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know, but I think it's fair to say that the situation is quite different. Also, part of what we're dealing with now is the undoing of the response to this crisis. So, you know, low interest rates, quantitative easing, all that stuff. Also, let's see, it took until about 2013, roughly. Go on to take another 4 years for the stock index to the S&P 500 to recover to the pre-financial crisis highs. Interestingly, also the 2000s. And this would be more evident in the NASDAQ, I guess. But anyway, you're looking at, I don't know, another 50% drop. So, I think if you asked anybody here, any of the regulars, any of the folks in the chat here, they'd say that we've, certainly not seen anywhere close to the bottom. But as far as 2008 comparisons, is it going to be worse or whatever? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows, but I think it's pretty clear that it's not going to play out the same way. This is a very, we know what it's just a totally different thing. I don't know any other way to say it. Next, we're going to hear Credit Suisse's like layman, which I don't also agree with. But anyway, I'll stop talking.
It's unfortunate, but and they're trying to blame it on the apes. If you've watched, check out my links in the bottom in the description box.
They are?
Get on my Twitter.
Wow.
Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Pinterest. Follow me on all that stuff because I post. And
He's
there's
on
a lot
Pinterest?
of interesting stuff that we're going to talk about on those platforms as well. But they talk bad about the apes. It's our fault.
I mean,
it's our fault that the economy is. It's our fault that the stock market's. It ain't our fault at all. It's their fault for letting a wide open door for us to come in and genius Reddit people who started this with GameStop and those other meme stocks and AMC. Genius, because they cracked the code and now look what they're doing, right? If you've gotten into the stock at 30, 40, 50 bucks or more, you were in that fear of missing out, that FOMO. You knew it was out there. You knew you heard the buzz and AMC and all this. It's going to the moon. And then you're like, whatever, dude, it ain't happening. You're full of shit. But then you saw it start going up to $20, $30. I was in LA and I saw it going up to $30, $40. Like every day I check it. Oh my God, my friend. I said, look, it's going up. He's like, whatever. People didn't get it. But then you got it and you're like, okay, I'm buying in. So you bought in at 30, 40, 50, and now it's at 6. Again, not financial advice, but you got no choice but to hold it. Hold. You can't lose any money if you don't sell, right? Because
oh boy. Well, you know what we
this
think of
thing's
that.
going to go up. Every indicator points to that direction. You see the hedge funds and their cronies dropping comments below. Please make comments. I want your comments down there, please. I'm going to do shout outs. So anybody that's leaving consistently comments down in my comment section, I will definitely start doing shout outs for you. I love you. I love you. I love you. But definitely subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button if you're an AMC fan. If you're even a GameStop fan, we're family, man. Come on. I don't hate. I love you to death. I want us all to make money. And we're going to make money. This thing's going to squeeze. We all know it. 4 million people are not wrong in this.
Well, sadly, that's not how things work. So the number of people who are convinced of something does not indicate how true or likely to happen it is. In fact, in the stock market, it actually often indicates, you'd be better off doing the opposite of what all those people are doing. because the reality is there is not really wisdom in numbers in terms of, the number of people who are convinced of something. Like, if more people are convinced of it, it just means that it's a more popular narrative. It doesn't mean that it's true. It could still be ridiculously unfeasible, right? So he's broke in trying to wheel in the community, get viewers, and get the algo working for him. That's not going to work. I mean, it's just not going to work. I can tell you that. We all know it's not going to work. Trust me, bro. I mean, they're all blaming the apes for it not working. I don't know. Just trying to watch financial news all day, every day. Really, Chuck? I don't know why it's not showing the whole names, whatever. And no one mentions AMC at all. No one cares about the apes. They're not even a footnote. And I'll tell you, I watch Bloomberg in the mornings, Bloomberg Surveillance. I would highly recommend it. I just think it's a good show. If people have been turned off, and I had been, to financial media because of people like Jim Cramer and Melissa Lee and all that nonsense, give Bloomberg Surveillance a shot. I think you'll be glad you did. It's not like Jim Cramer or Melissa Lee. It's pretty evidence-based, which is why I like it personally. Anyway, I just watch it for a couple, I don't know, an hour or so in the morning. And, I don't recall recently any mention of AMC except for maybe when the price was going up in one of these last pumps, or, this is a monthly chart. I mean, look at a monthly chart, for God's sakes. I mean, what the argument is, I mean, this is what people like Rico and these cycle freaks talk about, that this is the same. This is the same here as this is the same as that, so it's going to do that. But I mean, and of course we're looking at monthly. I mean, weekly would be better. See if it actually is. No, it's not the same. Is it similar? Maybe. Is anything else similar about this period of time and the current period of time that we're in now? Very little. Very little. So, anyway, might have been on one of these pumps here that I remember it being mentioned. Like, I think it was here, and I think I know why. I think it was in reference to the rallying in the market, and how the meme stocks were also rallying, and it was basically not necessarily a good thing. What he means is, please, dear Lord, don't give them a reason to sue me. Probably, yeah. All right, let's finish.
So much technical analysis that show that this is the most heavily shorted stock in American history. This will be a
technical analysis doesn't show that. I'm not sure what he's talking about there. Technical analysis, that's the wrong domain. Also, the most shorted stock in what?
Know it. 4 million people are not wrong in this. And there's been so much technical analysis that show that this is the most heavily shorted stock in American history. This will be a transfer.
No, that's not true.
Unknown, like it's never been seen
before. This is
before.
Just like a bunch of just nonsense talking points.
So put your seatbelts on. Make sure you set alerts.
Ironically, he doesn't have his on.
Yeah, not financial advice. I don't know what I'm talking about. But go to your apps and set alerts. Cash App has an alert, real simple. All these different apps
Cash
have alerts,
App.
so that when it hits 20, whoop, you're like, okay, because you don't want to watch it every day. It drive you crazy. Let me do that for you. We bounced off $6, boop, 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 $6.50, whatever today. nothing much happening. They're ping-ponging this back and forth because it's like such a tightly wound freaking slingshot. Okay, it's pulled all the way back so freaking tight that they're doing everything they can not to release it. Because when that thing pops, it's shooting. It's going so freaking far. It's trading.
Oh, they've been saying this for a long time too.
In the dark pools right now for obscene amounts of money. I'm sure we don't have privy to that.
Whoa, we're not privy to that. Oh my God, here we go. This guy has 8,000 subscribers, over 8,000 subscribers. Manny, 8,200 subscribers, to answer your question. That's surprising. I did not know even what to guess. That's way higher than
that information. But it's trading on the dark pools at.
Listen to this.
It's trading on in the dark pools right now for obscene amounts of money. I'm sure we don't have privy to that. We're not privy to that information. But it's trading
BS.
at sick numbers. I know this. In the thousands.
How do you know that? You just said we're not privy to the information. How do you know it then? Seriously. Not privy to the thing I'm asserting to know for absolute certain. Exactly. I mean, these guys are clowns, man. Hey, Reed, what's up? Good to see you again. God. It's more, it's like more uneducated. The more uneducated they are, the more arrogant they are about their bullshit. Dunning-Kruger, the Dunning-Kruger phenomenon. But the thing is, and Badback and I have talked about this specifically, you could do anything for a year and a half. I don't care what it is, like painting, drawing, playing an instrument, trading, learning a language, anything, any skill, whatever. Like all day, every day for 6 hours, 7 hours a day, every day. And then probably some more hours in the evening, like reading about it or, just not necessarily doing it, but maybe doing it, being around it. You could do anything for a year and a half and come out of that year and a half period with more skill and knowledge than these people have accumulated in that time. And that's curious because what that tells me is that they're not really, they haven't learned anything. How is it possible to do something for so long, spend so much time looking at something and supposedly reading DD and all this stuff and be as clueless and still say the same things that are obviously not true? Like, we know that there is no other price in the dark pool. I don't even think that the lose and the lottery stocks and the CSIs and maybe they do, but you don't hear that much anymore. This is going back. This is old school grift. This is part of the original grift. That the dark pool, there's a different dark pool. Of course, Lou said it and pushed it and got a lot of people to believe it, which, is lamentable. It's unforgivable. Plenty of apes, I'm sure, believe that. But we're not privy to that. We don't get to see that. I was thinking about this today, actually. The only thing, what is dark about the dark pool? The only thing that's dark about the dark pool is you don't see the limit orders before they are executed. Trades get reported. And Badback and I have talked about this too. We've talked about a lot of this shit. The trades get reported and they get printed to the tape. They go on the time and sales log. You can see them. In fact, they're even coded with a special, depending on the time and sales provider, brokerage. It even tells you that it's off exchange. It's even marked differently to tell you that it's off exchange. And yeah, the prices are not different. They're not different. See, Reed's asking here, pardon my ignorance, but do you know where some of them get the data about lit versus off exchange volume, so they deduce that it's being shorted there despite 100% utilization for 10 months? Well, I know that a lot of people use this website chartexchange.com, and you can go to exchange volume here and see that AMC today traded about 51% off exchange. Or you can see a graph of it, or you can see a percentage. You can see the actual numbers, or you can see a percentage here broken down by exchange. Now, I want to point this out because this always, for some reason, they always do this over in over in the AMC stock subreddit here. In fact, I bet we can search for dark pool here, and maybe just go in order of new. Yeah. Okay. Here's a perfect example. APE is up near 16% with a 71.44 off exchange. Now I can't help but note 71.44% off exchange. Now I can't help but notice that off exchange clearly says 59.57, 59.57. What the fuck? They're adding some of these. These are exchanges. These are actual exchanges here, not off exchanges. They're exchanges. Off exchange is here. That's why it says off exchange. Why do they do this? They want the number to be higher, of course. 71 sounds way more scary than 59. You know, stupid. But I wonder if anybody... no. What am I thinking? I wonder if anybody called him out. Yeah, right. This is Reddit. Sir, this is a Wendy's. What are you doing? Imagine what the real price is. So there's this notion that, yeah, no, of course nobody did. That somehow off-exchange transactions don't affect the price. Right. So anyway, to answer Reed's question, I think I already did, but yeah, Chart Exchange is one place. Another one is Market Chameleon. You can get that on here too. There are probably other places. Let's see what it says. Just do a little arbitrage here, see if it's the same. Should be. At the end of the day, you can get this data from FINRA as well, but not in real time. It's going to be reported after the fact, and I don't recall exactly when or whatever. Let's see here. It's down here. It's somewhere on here. It's somewhere. Anyway, my price action, I think. Yeah. Trading hours. Dark pool trades. Dark pool trades reported for AMC have accounted for 52% of the total volume today. So there's that. So actually, this is good too, because we can see here trading session statistics. So here's dark pool. 6.4 million volume, 9,000 trades. And this is what's interesting. Okay, they say that the price, the price. Okay, VWAP today was 623. The average price, the volume weighted average price. the VWAP in the dark pool, or in other words, the average of the price that was traded in the dark pool for the dark pool volume was actually higher than the general VWAP. That always, you know, tickles me a little bit, because they say, you know, blah 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 blah, suppressing the price, and oftentimes you see a higher VWAP in the dark pool or off exchange. I prefer the term off exchange, but at the end of the day, it is trades reported to trade reporting facilities rather than going through the exchange and being reported that way. So anyway, but what it, you know, what is dark, or what's hidden about it? It's just the limit orders that are waiting to be filled. Once once an order is filled, it gets reported and you see it, and it's not hidden. There's nothing hidden about it at that point, so it's not hidden. Okay. Also, off exchange is this line only. NASDAQ is an exchange. The New York Stock Exchange is obviously an exchange. CBOE, Edge, and BZ, and BY, and Edge A, they're all, and Chicago, they're all exchanges. And ARCA is an exchange, and so is Members Exchange, and so is the NASDAQ in Philadelphia and Miami, and the IEX, of course. We know that's an exchange. The NYSE National Exchange is obviously an exchange. NASDAQ B, and the New York Stock Exchange American. These are all exchanges. So don't add them to the off exchange volume to make it look like there's more. You're an idiot if you do that. Okay. Hopefully that helps. You can learn more by mistake, doing it for over a year. Exactly. So I don't know how these people, I mean, unless they're not actually doing it, they're just, pardon the pun, but monkey see, monkey do. They are, they are going through the motions because they've been told that if they go through these motions, that this thing will happen, without really understanding what they're doing. They don't understand what they've done or what they're doing. When a year and a half later, somebody is telling them all of this crap that we've just heard for the last 20 minutes or whatever, however long I've been making you guys suffer through
trading
this. Okay.
on the dark pools at sick numbers. I know this. In the thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars per share.
Who the fuck would pay $10,000s of dollars for an AMC share, for a single share? Who the fuck would pay that? Would you? Would Adam Lewis pay $10,000 fucking dollars for an AMC share? Let's see it. Let us see you fucking do that. If you even could. I mean, fuck it. I'll buy a share of AMC and create a limit order to sell it at an astronomical price, and then you fucking buy it. Oh, no? I doubt he would, but he makes six figures, so he should be able to. $1,000. $1,000. And we'll square up at the end. I mean, is anybody actually willing to do that? But they expect somebody else to fucking buy it for those prices. Bullshit.
And that's what we're going to see.
No.
We're going to see that. I'm a firm believer of it. I mean, I'm just telling you what I believe. You do you. Do whatever you want to do. Think I'm crazy, whatever. 4 million people can't be wrong on this. There's a lot of shareholders in AMC. You can't lose any money if you don't sell it. If you got in at 50, 60, you can't sell it. You got to hold it. Hold. Now, I get it. If you're financially strapped, you need that money. You got to do what you got to do. I've dumped a lot of what? If you're financially strapped, you need that money. You got to do what you got to do. I've dumped a lot of shares through COVID and all. I dumped a lot of shares. I had to do what I had to do. But
of AMC? Oh, well, that's bad. Okay, let's see. Like Market Chameleon, I pay $100 a month but they do have free service. I signed up for their free trial. I mean, I don't really use it, but I used to look at it sometimes, and this is the first time I've been to it in months. But I got their free trial. I forget why. I was trying to get historical data for something. It was before Chart Exchange came on the scene, and I signed up for the trial so I could get the historical data. And wouldn't you know, I forgot to cancel it, and they charged me for a whole year. It was bad. But I will say, though, that they're really nice people. I emailed them and said, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. I didn't mean to let it roll over. Is there any way I haven't used it? And it was literally the next morning. And they said, sure, we'll take care of it for you. Thanks for checking us out. So I thought that was nice. I mean, I would have been pretty pissed if they hadn't, but but it was nice that they did. Okay, so interesting to see the VWAP is basically the same on the dark pool. Yeah, because it's really no different. One more question though: if the function of the dark pool is to hide large limit orders from institutions, then why does that constitute volume? Doesn't that imply trades that need to be settled? Okay, so let's back up here. The function of dark pool is to hide large limit orders from institutions. So the reason I like the term off exchange is because it is more inclusive of, or it's easier to understand that there are multiple different off exchange venues that an order can be executed in. Okay, so when people talk about dark pool, they tend to mean the same thing, but traditionally the dark pool is a specific type of off exchange execution. This is where things get really confusing and convoluted and complicated. So I'm not going to get into strict details and worry about the names and the abbreviations and the acronyms and all that stuff. But you have institutions, okay, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, UBS, Citadel, etc. They have their own off-exchange execution venues. These would be considered dark pools, okay? So let's just limit it to prime brokers. So like Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citigroup. Okay, these prime brokers, they're the brokers that institutions use. Brokers that institutional traders, hedge funds, etc., go through. Like I said, they're not going to go through a Fidelity or a Robinhood. They're going to go to the whole, I don't want to use that term either for reasons, but they're going to go to, a prime broker. Okay. So they have quote unquote dark pools that they use to do these types of trades. Okay. That's where the limiting large, hide large limit orders from institutions. It's not so much to hide them from institutions. It's just to hide them so that they're not displayed. Okay, maybe it's from institutions, maybe it's from retail investors, maybe it's from everyone to say, okay, we're gonna drop this huge order. It's going to move the market. We don't want people anticipating it and screwing up the price. We want the price to be preserved for when that order gets executed, when the limit order gets executed. So that's one type of off exchange, dark pool. Another type of off exchange is what FINRA calls over the counter or OTC. This is the off exchange that people like Citadel and Virtu, the market makers use. So, and these are considered wholesalers. That's why I didn't want to use the term before. These are wholesalers. So Citadel receives orders from Robinhood to buy, we have a customer that wants to buy this stock or option or whatever. And Citadel says, okay, done. We did it. We got it. Boom. They have it. It's in their account. They may have it, they may not have it. They may have to buy it to fill your order. This all happens in their own off-exchange venue, which is termed over the counter. So it doesn't go through an exchange. It's like you and I doing a transaction. Like I sell TVs at a store or Circuit City. I work for Circuit City. I sell TVs. You are looking for a TV. You come into the store and say, I'm looking for a TV. And I'm like, you know what? I got just the thing. Here's my cell phone number. Give me a call later. I got a TV that's exactly what you're looking for. I'll sell it to you, under the table. I don't want to say under the table. I have a TV. I'm going to sell you. Okay. We're not going to go through Circuit City. We're just going to go, off exchange, if you will. So that's wholesaler off exchange, wholesale internalizer off exchange. So those orders are not being executed off exchange to hide them from anybody because they're large. They're not large. They're mostly odd lot orders for retail investors. The purpose there is the brokerage gets paid from the market maker for providing the trade. So it's like, hey, we're going to sell you our trade, our orders. You're going to pay us for them. That's how we make money. So that's off exchange. That's dark pool. It's a different dark pool, different off exchange venue. So that's the first part. Then why does that constitute volume? Doesn't that imply trades that need to be settled? All trades need to be settled. So when orders are matched in the limit order book, that is an execution of trade, right? And that moves the price. The price will move up and down based on the order execution. This is something the apes never learned. They say all kinds of stuff, all kinds of reasons why the price will go up or down, except for the actual ones. But those trades need to be settled. Settlement occurs T+2. So those trades will be settled later on, a couple days later. Incidentally, it's at that point, 2 days later, that if one side isn't able to complete the transaction for whatever reason, that's when a fail to deliver occurs. On the third day, so the next day after the T+2, T+3, that's when the FTD occurs. The price has already moved. The price, I repeat, the price has already been affected by that order. If it was affected by that order. I say if because it doesn't necessarily affect it. Like we were talking about earlier with CSI. Why didn't these 150 shares that were executed, why is it just a dashed line in the chart? Well, it's because that's not enough to move the price. There were still shares available at that price, so the price didn't move. Anyway, but it is at settlement, and I know this is not what Reed asked, but I'm just putting it, driving it home because this is another point of retardation that the apes and these ape influencers love to harp on. They've stolen so much money in buying power from us because of the FTDs. No, the FTDs happen at settlement. The orders have already been executed. The price pressure has already been exerted. It's already been exerted. Notice, there's no way for those to come back off. There's no way to get a refund. There's no way to undo a transaction. It cannot be undone. The only thing you can do is sell it. If you but that's from the trader's perspective. You can't cancel, to my knowledge, once it's been executed, whether it's before or after settlement. There's no facility, there's no provision to cancel an order, to take it back, because the limit order book is it's an aggregation of all the orders that are outstanding right now at all the price levels. It would be impossible. Oh, I need to take off 150 shares from this order. That would have changed the pricing of everything that follows potentially. Okay, let's say 150,000 shares or something that would definitely affect it. So when they say that there's buying pressure that's stolen, it's nonsense. But the trades need to be settled. They all need to be settled. And what that means is really, you don't know who's buying, ultimately going to end up with quote unquote your shares. That's happened during the settlement process. Clearing and settlement determines who gets what from whom. Shares are fungible, so it doesn't matter. This guy bought 5 shares. This other guy sold 5 shares. All right, fine, that works. That's it. So it's netting is what's really happening, because you're not even looking at individual accounts at that point. You're looking at market you're looking at NSCC members of the clearing agency, and they're literally just doing a net settlement. So, okay, this brokerage had this many buys and sells. This other one had this, yada, 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 and this gets matched. So it's a net process. But its volume is counted when the trade is executed. It's executed volume. And at that point, like I said, there's no way to go back. There's no way to go back. And they do need to be settled for 2 days. By the way, options settle overnight. So if you trade in a cash account, your trades will settle overnight. You'll have full buying power the next day. Highly recommend that. Okay. Clip posted, Adam pay at $10,000. I could do that. What happened to 8 million apes, or was it 5 million? He said 4.1 million. See, that's why I said it the other night. And somebody gave me a little bit of guff for that. But yeah, no, 4.1 was what they said last year. Tony Tinko, hello, sir. AMC investors are psychological damage and hoping for a delusional dream. AMC just took out another $950 million loan, or $950 million just to pay high debts. They can't pay their bills. And greetings to you, my friend. Dark pools are legal in the stock market. Yes, they are. So hopefully that, I don't know, hopefully that was a little bit of information about dark pools and off exchange. I prefer the term off exchange. It's much less loaded of a term. Off exchange sounds okay. Dark pool, oh, sounds scary, sounds illegal, sounds like it's nefarious. But it's not. It's not. Okay. Almost done.
You know, I got mine, and every time I have a chance, an opportunity, I buy more. I'm also buying some crypto. So I'm going to do some crypto videos.
So he's got his, but you know, why not buy more? You can't ever have too much money for when the squeeze happens. You know, you need
through
more
COVID
billions.
and all. I dumped a lot of shares. You know, I had to do what I had to do. But you know, I got mine, and every time I have a chance, an opportunity, I buy more. I'm also buying some crypto. So I'm going to do some crypto videos too, let you know what I'm getting in on. So definitely subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. I love you. I mean that. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Well, the feeling's not mutual. Who is this? Market Conversations with 8,000 subscribers. This video is pasted into Telegram. Full of regrets on AMC and Alibaba. Interesting. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure. Never seen it before. I was able to build a decent-sized stock portfolio, but ended up losing it all after a catastrophic event that occurred on June 2nd. That's a very ominous day. I'm not giving up on my dream of becoming a successful trader. If you want to join me on this journey or become a supporter, please check out my Patreon. Okay. United States, joined January 10th, 2021.
I wake up every single day.
By the way, this will be the last video today.
Regretting being in the stock markets. How did I do this to myself? Why did I do this to myself? Why couldn't I stop myself? Options is what really got me. It really destroyed me. Yes, ultimately I made the decision to trade options. Options are okay if you know what you're doing, but the majority of traders,
sometimes they're not even
they over leverage
even when you know what you're doing.
So last year on June 2nd, I lost over $600,000.
Wow.
So this is my TD Ameritrade, and you can see this 2021 June 2nd was the day AMC had a short squeeze. It went all the way up to $65. But if we take a look at today's price, it's under 10. I essentially over leveraged, and the craziest thing was TD Ameritrade was able to let me sell over 100 naked calls. I don't think it's even possible to do that now, even if...
I'm just trying to understand. So these are all from June 2nd? All these trades? I mean, I know this isn't the point of the video, but I mean, I'm just like, I'm seeing this and I'm like, what? So 1,500, 37. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. But she's talking about selling naked calls. I mean, anyway.
This thing was TD Ameritrade was able to let me sell over 100 naked calls. I don't think it's even possible to do that now, even if you
I see quantities way higher than 100. I don't know what.
Have the bankroll for it. So you can see here, these were all naked calls, $109,000. This is just in one day. One day, $160,000 loss. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy in one day. So that was 2021. And of course, this year has just been pretty awful. 800,000. I want to share some articles about people who have lost.
I'm scratching my head here on this one. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know.
On options, and I mean a lot of money. For example, this person lost $400,000 on a single Robinhood bet. This person who was...
I mean, the reason that this person was able to sell naked calls was because they probably had enough collateral in their account, at least at the beginning of the day, to cover it. I mean, if you don't have the collateral, they're not going to let you do it. Plain and simple. And based on that P&L, it appears that they probably would not know that because, this speaks for itself. I mean, so I don't know, why was somebody selling all these calls on the day that AMC ran up? So they lost money on the AMC run up and this year. Like that, those two things don't seem to be compatible necessarily. Like $800,000 this year, and $600,000 on June 2nd. I don't, it does not compute. I don't understand.
And of course, this year has just been pretty awful. 800,000.
But selling calls is a bearish position. Why? Like, so, I mean, I guess I'm just, locked into thinking that they must have been bullish on AMC, but, I don't know. And then, like, those quantities just don't make any sense. Like, why would you sell 7,200, 120 calls? I mean, I guess they actually made money on that trade, but I mean, like, if it just, I mean, it may, I understand how they lost money. I'm just saying I don't understand. I don't understand. Yeah.
Person who was 26.
Let's see here. I skipped ahead, I know.
On options, and I mean a lot of money. For example, this person lost $400,000 on a single Robinhood bet.
Their audio is really low.
This person who was
up a lot.
26 saved up enough money to put everything into Alibaba. He thought it was the safest bet. And even to this day,
maybe
people are still saying that Alibaba
maybe they're just telling a story.
Is undervalued and that it would go back up to 200. It's not even at 100 right now. It's at 73, 74. It actually went down quite a bit today. And I lost a lot of money in Alibaba as well. So this person bought $200 strike price call options on Alibaba. This was just last year. That's how much value it has lost since then.
I mean,
and
okay.
What he did, another $100,000 into Alibaba. Even though his mom told him to get out on April 13. He just couldn't. He said, it might have been just stupidity, ignoring the facts, but my conviction was high. If you listen to smart people, they all said it would go up. Next 10 days, it dropped by another 30%. This is his account. The whole $400,000 turned to almost zero. I was literally begging for it to come back so I can even get $300,000 out, just praying. Like once you go from desperation to literally praying. He was depressed for 2 months. You hear people on big time. Even now, even this year, I didn't learn my lesson because leveraged, it cost me big time. Even now, even this year, I didn't learn my lesson because I over leveraged on spreads thinking they were going to be safe. There's another article I do want to share. This guy named James Cordier, he also did the same thing I did, and I actually watched his apology video, I think a couple months before my AMC loss. You just don't think it would happen to you until it happens to you and you experience it firsthand. So this person actually option selling one. But guess what? Natural gas up nearly 20% in a single afternoon last week. So the problem that...
Wait a minute. Is this from currently or...
all how it happens to you and you experience it firsthand.
No, 2018. 2018. I was going to say, because I don't think it shot up last week. But anyway, let's see if there's a conclusion or anything.
Take into consideration what would happen if the trade goes against us. I learned my lesson. And
yeah, I would say the lesson here is if you've done that, maybe don't trade. Like, not everybody's cut out for trading. That demonstrates some absolutely non-existent control. This is ridiculous. Like, this is ridiculous. I mean, maybe they made money other places. So these are spreads here. So that's what they've done. They've done a calendar spread here. They're I think maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. She said spreads, but there's a lot of options here for June 4th. I'm actually not familiar. I don't use this screen in TD Ameritrade, so but so they've got everything here. Like, I mean, cost wouldn't that indicate that they bought these contracts? Adjusted cost, 52 call. So the cost was 47,606. Adjusted proceeds, 15,737. Adjusted gain, negative 31,868. Wouldn't that be a long? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not familiar. Like, I would think that is there really a cost when you sell? I mean, you're selling an option, you're collecting a premium first, and then, depending on what happens with that contract, that would be your P&L. So I'm not sure. So yeah, so some of these here, it's some of them have close dates, open date, close date. Some of them don't. So anyway, I'm not gonna obsess too much over it, but it's just like, wow. And then to say, like, this year, so they were bearish. They were, I don't know. I just don't know. That's wild.
21. And of course, this year has just been pretty awful.
So, like, they're not a perma bear then. Otherwise, they would have cleaned up this year. So they were bearish on AMC last year if they were selling calls, and they were bullish on the market this year when all signs pointed to the market going down. I'm sorry, this is not a good trader. And I'll echo what Manny's the Man says here. Those are some very crazy trades. If anybody's watching this, play close to the money, get in and out in the same day. This is not the type of market you hold options overnight. Unless they're, I'll just add, unless they are for, and if you're trading options that are any type of short date, anything, a week, 2 weeks or less, let's say, you need to be prepared. Certainly if you're trading, weekly or same day expirations, you can get into a lot of trouble really quick. Buy in the money. That's the safest thing you can do, and go out or because it gets really expensive, go as far out in time as you can. You're going to be less affected by volatility then. You're going to have a lower theta decay then, It's just better. So this is something. I'm not sure what to think about this, to be honest. This is a weird one. So more investigation is needed. I don't know if Manny has seen this channel before, if it's just something that was that he found, but wow. I know I said that like $120 profit, like you lost over $1 million. You're talking about losing over $1 million. I don't know. It's weird. See what I mean? It's weird. Anyway, and trading on Robinhood and stuff. I know I said that was the last video, but I feel like I kind of tore it apart. So we'll go one more. Oh crap!
So just saw this website. Thought I'd share it. This is kind of goes along what I was talking about with YouTubers and the money that can be made.
Fuck. Sorry about that. I don't even know what that sounded like. I am so sorry. I was adding 12 decibels of gain to that last video because it couldn't be heard. It was so low. And I went into this video with 12 dBs of gain. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Wow. Shit.
So just saw this website. Thought I'd share it. This is kind of goes along what I was talking about.
Easing it up.
YouTubers and the money that can be made. This is a public website. There's a link to it. Somebody wrote this article. Somebody took the time. This is pretty wild to think. I mean, I know he left the AMC movement, but if this is legit, if this information is 100% accurate, nothing like making $10 million off the movement.
Welcome to Trade Trace, where we talk
Pretty crazy. I mean, it really breaks it all down. I'd hate to have a website dedicated to me talking about what I was able to accomplish. But hey, young man pulled it off, and you guys were the suckers. Everybody ran to him, and he was the king, and getting 300,000 views back when he was pushing AMC. Everybody talked about it, but it always just makes me wonder, man. This is why I pointed it out. No wonder these tubers get so big and get so defensive about how much money they're making.
Play is still on.
I shared with you my ads for a reason. I wanted you to see. And it's funny how once I started doing that,
he didn't mislead anyone.
Didn't even get 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 views.
I feel like I've seen this name before. He didn't mislead anyone. AMC is still going to go bonkers. Then why did he leave? If it's going to go bonkers, then why would he leave? Oh my God. I mean, we're going to be seeing videos by this dude here, like the soft talker, the low talker. She's a low talker. She was definitely a low talker.
So just saw this website.
Video showed up when you were searching for AMC. I have not seen that channel. So
$1 million?
10 million.
Like, dude, somebody mo-assed without mo-assing. It's crazy how this movement could do that to you. And to think while everybody else is sitting there holding, fighting for a future for our stock market. Like, who's next? You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes me wonder, like, what else is going on? What was it designed to do? And sponsorships, like, is this all a big conspiracy? Is it all tied together? Think about it, as we find out after a year and a half, 2 years, how connected is this stuff? I don't know, it just makes me wonder, and some of your current tubers right now that you're still running to that, pulling in 30,000 views per video, 50,000 views.
Reed would like to announce that he has sold his AMC and APE today. Never was an APE, but absolutely a newbie who got sucked into the narrative. Took a $2,000 loss on down 40%. Where's the nearest Apes Anonymous? I think that we're pretty close to that. Although your name's here, but anyway, and pleased, not necessarily. It's not. It doesn't make anybody happy, I don't think, to see people lose money. The question is, do you think that it was a good idea? It sounds like you do. So that's good. the objective is not to get people to sell. It may be a smart thing to do, but it's just not the point. The data, looking at the evidence might lead one to that conclusion, and that's okay. So, you know, I'm happy for you. It sounds like you are coming to terms with what you did, so that's good. That's good. Hopefully it was a learning experience, and hopefully you can get something positive out of it. And you know, that's worth $2,000 for sure. That's worth $2,000. The opportunity to learn, you don't even have to dissect your trades, whatever. I think there are, and I'm not, not trying to compare, because one person's experience is different than everyone else's, but I'm fairly confident that there are people who are going to lose a lot more than that, who are not going to learn half as much as you've already learned. So kudos to you for that. That's really the most exciting thing, I think, is leaving a narrative, leaving it behind, changing, growing out of it, like metamorphosizing out of the skin, molting, if you will, like a like whatever, like a moth. You're a moth. That sounds great, but or a snake, whatever they do, shedding their whatever. Anyway, losses are part of the deal. They're part of the deal. So, it's good to experience that, and get it out. I mean, you'll always have losses. So the more comfortable you get losing money, the better. Now, obviously, nobody wants to lose money, but it's part of the deal. Nobody wins all the time, and better the deal, the more easily you deal with it, the better, and all that kind of stuff. So, you just have to accept it. You can't do anything. So anyway, good job. Okay, I know I keep saying last video. This has to be it, man. I'm getting, okay, good. It's a short video. Sweet.
Morning, boss. Who we fucking over today?
Well, that's a dumb question, Bob. Obviously retail.
Perfect. I've been in Wall Street bets all morning.
Let's make this quick. I got a tea time in about an hour. You know what to do. All right, let's go.
All right.
Oh, just like that. Just like that, Bob.
Yeah, so there's a lot of call options coming in, should we?
All right, we're gonna rug them, all right?
Should we?
Wait, okay.
No, they're so dumb. They're so dumb.
True story. Hilarious, but it's true. I love and hate this. I hate and love this simultaneously. Not wrong. Nothing like a free and fair market. I mean, I could get into that, but free and fair market means for everyone, right? So, that means the people that have a lot of money that can move the price around. So if you say that they can't participate, you don't have a free market or a fair market. So you have to. The name of the game is to get more capital to be able to do more. It takes money to make money. So I struggle with it too, but you know, I mean, it's like there's not really a lot of, to my knowledge, I mean, I don't know everything obviously, but there's not really a lot of ways that you can cheat other than, and it's not even cheating, but have a lot of capital to throw at something on either side, like buying or shorting. And is it fair that some people have more capital than others? Not, I mean, fair, you know, who knows, but it's the way it is, and that will always be the case. So, you know, that's the thing about those arguments. It's like, what do you think, that they are hacking the stock market or something, or that they're, you know, they have some special button or something like that? No, they just have a lot of money. How can you make the price swing up? By a lot, you know. Anyway, Bad Back is saying futures down. Futures down. Let's see. Oh, oops. Got to go to the futures. Got to go to a time frame that's relevant. So let's see. So here's the market close. Oh yeah, here's the market close right here. Fuckers. Here's the market close. So we are, I mean, I think it was up here. What, down about at 1%? Is that what it says? Well, I mean, no, because the day for futures starts at 6. So it's not down as much. So if you notice that it skips from 6, well, it should. It skips from 5. It skips from 1659 or 459 to 1800 or 6 o'clock. So futures are closed for the 5 o'clock hour or the 1700 hour, and they reopen here. So that's why. We get our whatever, 0.5%, 67.67. There it is. Okay. Well, anyway, there it is. All right. What about the NASDAQ? Yeah, of course. About. See, this is why I play the NASDAQ, because the moves are exaggerated, which is good unless you're wrong about the direction. Then it fucks you. This is a good point, too. Read, it is not so much that you do or do not have AMC. The problem is the people lying on YouTube about AMC. I could not and did not put it as well. That's right on. That's right on. You know, it's not so much that anybody here wants you to do anything other than be wary, be on guard about the charlatans, snake oil salesmen on YouTube. And anytime anybody says one thing and only that one thing, you know, it's very easy to get wrapped up in a narrative. It's very easy to get emotionally involved in that narrative and lose sight of logic, lose sight of common sense, lose sight of critical thinking. And that's what happens here, plain and simple. Combine that with the pandemic, lockdowns, etc. You know, you can't. It's understandable to a point. You know, it's understandable. But what's not understandable to me is the unwillingness. Like, why wouldn't you want to learn? Why wouldn't you want to know what's going on? And why everybody's saying this, but the opposite thing happened? Like, why would you not be open to potentially that you're wrong? I don't understand that. That is foreign to me. I don't understand. And that will lead to catastrophic losses. It already has. Like the kind of losses that come when the shit goes to zero or the company goes bankrupt or, you know, something like that. Or, you know, months from now, like, or they never sell it. So 40% is not bad. You know, seriously, it's not. It's less than half. Manage expectations. That's a good, I like that phrase, managing expectations. Fortunately, still have most of my starting capital ready to invest. Just entered the market looking for squeeze setups and deals on growth stocks. Well, it's a good time to be in the market now. So, for going forward in the future, good companies. You know, would you want to buy at these levels? It's probably going to go lower, but you know, that doesn't mean that you can't nibble on some things. Ultimately, if you're have a long thesis, you know, it'll come back through these levels. And so anyway, I think Ken Fisher says, if you like a stock, you buy it on the way down. I think maybe Warren Buffett said that kind of thing too. But when it's time, anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting tired now. I mean, I'm starting to lose my train of thought. But anyway, you know, there's a lot of opportunity. Let me just say that. Managing expectations is the best thing you can do. Because, you know, everybody, they were promised the world, you know, and they didn't know enough. They should have been able to. But, you know, it's easy to get wrapped up in something like this, especially during last year when everybody had extra money, everybody had extra time, everybody had, you know, an extra desire for things to get better, be different, get exciting. You know, all these things converged on this. And it's okay. But now, at this point in the game, if you're still living in 2021, June of 2021, expecting that to happen again, and it hasn't ever since then, has not happened again. Does that mean it will never happen again? No, not necessarily. But considering everything, like all that stuff, the extra stuff, like the pandemic and the desire for excitement and the money and all that, considering all those things are no longer the case, this is as basically as I can put it. That's the stuff that allowed it to happen. All that stuff. All that stuff isn't there anymore. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. Like, it's not hard to see. How much were we paying for gas last summer? How much did we pay this summer? How much are we paying now? God help the people in California. So managing your expectations, not expecting anything to happen overnight, and don't invest more money than you can afford to lose. In other words, be okay with losing 100% of what you put in. If you do that, even if you lose, well, you're still going to learn something, right? Even if you lose money, you already expected to, you were already okay with it. You already managed your expectations. You already did not expect to get rich quick. I think trading is fun. I think it's exciting. Short-term trading, speculation. And there's a lot of opportunity there, but there's also a lot of risk there. And there is literally that or completely passive buying and holding index funds and everything in between. There's something, and there's stocks, equities, options, indexes, index options, crypto, bonds, probably not bonds, And any, any area, any sector, I believe there's kind of an infinite number of ways to make money every day and opportunities. It's just identifying them and acting on them and having the intuition to know to jump or not. And that, just experience. And even then, you're still going to lose. Hopefully, not more than 49% of the time. I question that person who lost $800,000 or whatever it was. How do they still have any capital to work with? What does that person do? If they're making that bad of decisions in trading, what kind of job do they have? How would they perform at their job? That brings up so many questions in my mind. I don't have time for them, but it is midnight. So let me run this again. I know at least Model 3 dude doesn't like this song, but there's not much I can do because I don't want to keep violating copyright. So I'll just violate copyright on Phil For Real's song. Why not?
I'm not a financial advisor. Take what I say with a grain of salt. But take this.
Light taps and dildo straps. Light taps and dildo straps. Light taps and dildo straps. Light taps and
light taps and dildo straps.
dildo straps. Light taps and dildo straps.
Jesus.
Straps.
Go. Dwayne Johnson. Come here, you silly chicken. Dwayne Johnson. Come here, you silly chicken. Dwayne Johnson.
Anyway,
Dwayne Johnson. Come here.
This was a good stream. I appreciate everybody that's here and subscribers. And if you haven't hit the like button yet, if you think that it should be hit, then that'd be cool to do that. Subscribe and if somebody needs to hear something that we talked about, send them the video. Twitter, Telegram, read. You might be interested to join our Telegram group. If you have Telegram or are willing to get it, we're in there every day talking about the markets and trading and the economy, macroeconomics, and all that fun stuff. Sometimes bonds. So anyway, just want to extend that invitation to everybody. I had to fade it. I had to cut it at this point. That's pretty much terrible. Like
got me feeling bullish 'cause she got me feeling APE.
I had to just cut it there. And Reed just joined Telegram. So awesome. All right. Man, it feels so weird not playing that song. I wish I can't in good conscience keep violating copyright now that I know that it's going to get caught, because the last 10 streams or something all got dinged for it. So anyway, we'll be back on the weekend probably sometime, maybe who knows, sometime maybe between now and the weekend. It looks like the futures are down, and that's okay. We're set up for that. So we're looking at about, just over 1%. What about the Dow? What's the Dow doing? Dow is down about 0.3. Yeah, okay. It's literally the NASDAQ. What is going on in the bonds? Okay, we get the 10 years coming up. And what about the dollar? The dollar is higher. What about the VIX? What about the VIX futures? So, that's the VXN. What about the VIX futures? We only have daily. That's weird. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay. All right. Where did Tesla end up today? Oh, wow. Well, we were talking about Tesla 200. it's pretty much there. Probably be there tomorrow. Okay, Reed, I see you in there. Awesome. Thanks for that, and we'll catch you over there. Everybody, have a good night. We will catch you sometime soon. Take care, and good trading, investing, and we'll see you around or in Telegram. Have a good night. Later. Peace.